This time on Between the Wheels.
It's a 1978 Chevy 3/4 ton. It's a tribute truck to the TV show The Fall Guy. This truck here was found at a junkyard on the side of the highway. Who had a for sale sign up against it. Paid $1,000 for the truck. The restoration was almost 7 months in the body shop.
We took something that was just $1,000 sitting neglected. There's always a chance it can go in the crusher, no one wants to save it. But you brought it back to life and you made it something that really stands out. It's not just any truck.
Bought it in 1983 for $100 in a used washer and dryer.
He asked me questions like, is it fast?
You really don't have to say much.
Just enjoy the ride.
If Dominic Toretto is a real person, definitely be you.
So when I was 14, actually, I found this on Kijiji.
I was literally in the garage anywhere from 6 to 12 hours.
Decided to make a race car out of it. Let's see what happens here.
So the whole trip, I got pulled over 12 times.
All right, so I'm standing here with Clyde in Ottawa. This is a beautiful location here at the experimental farm. Now, man, this is an amazing truck. Tell me about this truck.
It's a 1978 Chevy half ton, well 3/4 ton, depending on how you look at it, because the wheels looks like it's a half ton, but the build plate on the door it says it's 3/4 ton.
Very cool.
So it's a heavy half ton.
And now this is not just any truck, because this truck is actually a replica from a TV show, The Fall Guy.
Yes, it's a tribute truck to the TV show The Fall Guy, starring Lee Majors. It came out in the early 80s. It ran for 5 seasons. This is my dream truck to own one. Back in 2006, I didn't see any Fall Guy truck replicas running around, and I seen one on eBay. It was a jump truck that was for sale. It went up for sale, and I know it was sold and purchased and rebuilt, but I wanted something that nobody else had for TV shows.
It's not the same thing as like, it's not like the DeLorean where there's like 1,000 DeLoreans out there. This is something you don't see every day. Personally, I had never even heard of this show. I was born in the late 80s, but this is kind of before my time. I had never heard about The Fall Guy. And when I checked out and I saw this truck, I was like, wow, how the hell have I not heard of this show before? It's just such a beautiful looking truck. And I could see why you would want to make one of these, just because it's really neat. First of all, it's a really cool TV show, and there's not many of them around. Like you said, it's not like the DeLorean where there's tons of them around. So.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, DeLoreans are everywhere. There's a guy in Las Vegas that builds the DeLorean time machines for a living.
But so this is a time machine in itself, but more of a historical time machine rather than like in the movie. So what was your inspiration for making the stunt truck itself, like the exact stunt truck?
It was, well, when I built the truck, I remember watching the show as a kid, but when YouTube first came out, they had a couple of clips of the opening intro, and but in the intro they didn't show the series truck, which the paint job is different.
Okay.
So I based it on what I seen on YouTube and what I remember as a child.
Okay, so how does it differ from the other truck?
The series truck is an 81.
Okay.
And it's got square lights. Mine has round lights, has round eye lights, and the paint job, it's more of it goes right to the front, the gold, and it's got a red stripe right here.
Okay.
And that's the difference. And it has an eagle on the hood. Mine doesn't have an eagle on the hood.
And the other thing I noticed is on the show itself, the wheels and the suspension were bigger, but obviously you didn't go that route. What was your reasoning for keeping this?
I wanted to keep this truck original. I wanted, because they said when you raise them up, they're hard on gas to drive. I don't know, I just wanted to keep it original and You know, when you go down the road, it has a look, but it's not lifted on that stuff.
There's enough jacked up trucks out there that everyone's got, so
yeah.
It's nice to see a truck in original, and you've done an amazing job. What was the restoration like?
The restoration was almost 7 months in the body shop. The truck, this truck here was found at a junkyard.
Really?
It was sitting at a junkyard up in Northern Ontario, and I seen this truck sitting in a small junkyard on the side of the highway. Who had a for sale sign up against it. So I went and purchased it, paid $1,000 for the truck. It ran and drove, as the main thing. I drove it home, and then I called my guy at the body shop, and I told him what I wanted to do. I took pictures from the internet, what I can find on the internet,
right,
and still caps from the intro. We brought the truck in, and then 8 months later, we got it back.
And all these years later, it's almost 20 years, I guess now, eh? And that's amazing. I love that story because, you know, you took something that was just $1,000 sitting neglected. There's always a chance it can go in the crusher and no one wants to save it, but you brought it back to life and you made it something that really stands out. It's not just any truck, because you made it a replica from the show, but you've also added your personal touch by not doing the big wheels and keeping it original looking. So you're kind of, it's a throwback to the back in the day, how the trucks were built, how they were supposed to look. So I like what you did there. So one of the things I found really interesting about this is I mentioned earlier that I had never heard the show before. And so it's maybe not the most popular show in the world yet, because what's happening is I looked this thing up when I was doing research. I found out that next year they're actually filming a Fall Guy movie.
Yes.
2024, starring Ryan Gosling, who's ironically from the area. He was raised not too far from here.
Yep.
So it's kind of reminds me back in the day, a movie called Drive came out, and that kind of revolutionized a lot of things. There was lots of old school music. They used the synthwave. It got really popular from that. It's kind of him driving these vehicles. This kind of just reminds me of the movie Drive, because I feel like when it's going to come out, people are going to find out what this truck is, and you're probably going to see the popularity of this truck skyrocket. So
I know.
You're kind of before its time, I think.
Yes, because I remember when the Dukes of Hazzard came out in 2005. The General Lees were selling like hotcakes. But this one is not going up for sale. I'm not going to sell this truck.
You're not going to sell it?
No. This truck here, my wife and I own it. We take care of it. We baby it. This is our toy. It's our hobby.
And your wife drives it too, you mentioned?
Yes. She drives it. She's an avid fan of the show.
Right.
Yeah, she had a crush on Douglas Barr. He played Howie in the TV show.
That's very cool. And now she's driving the truck. How cool is that? I think that's awesome. And we got to talk about the engine as well, because I haven't even seen the engine. Let's crack this thing open and take a look.
Okay, it's the original 350.
Okay.
And it's as you saw, it's all original. I had to get the heads done a couple of years ago.
You know what's really cool about this? I haven't done too many trucks on the show. I've had a lot of cars with 350s in them, but seeing them in the truck and how much space you have to work with, it's not like now where you got the fuel injected cars and it's just spider webs. This is really cool. And it's just nice to be able to just see the engine and how raw it is. And like, you've kept it completely original. You're just keeping it going. How many original miles does it have on it?
It just rolled over 80,000 miles.
80,000 miles in driving. And how do you like the drive with this engine?
It runs good. Like I said, it runs good. It'll get you down the road. Like I said, don't expect to go 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds. Like I said, she'll get you up there.
Right. But it's a cruiser. It's a country relaxing cruiser, I guess you could say. You're driving it for what it's designed for. You're not trying to break any speed records here.
No.
And in terms of brakes, and does it have power steering, power brakes, or is it all manual? No,
it's got power steering.
Okay.
You have drums in the back, disc in the front.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Very cool. So this is a really cool truck. I think there's only one thing left to do, and it's take it for a ride.
Yes.
Take it for a spin, man.
Yeah, take her for a spin down the road.
truck is, it's really nice, man.
Should run smooth.
Should run smooth, yeah.
And it's original motor, original transmission still.
Which transmission does it have?
It's got the 350.
350, okay. 4-speed, eh?
Yeah.
Nice. So you got 350 engine, 350 transmission. This is great. And you know what I really like about this truck that I obviously haven't experienced with many other cars is how quiet it is. It's like, it's not loud in here at all.
No. But it's all original. No, nothing has been insulated. It's all original.
I'm surprised of how like relaxing it is. It's just a really chill truck. And the dashboard here and everything. So is this original?
Yeah. Except for the dash pad, we changed it, but it cracked.
Right. But this is the color that was inside it. So
yeah,
so the color was it what the original truck was?
It was two-tone green.
Two-tone green.
Yeah.
Nice. And what do you got here on the fuel tank? I see a switch.
That's the it had dual fuel tanks before.
Okay.
And we turned around and we took one tank off. This one, but if you flick it, your truck will stop.
Really? Okay. Oh, yeah, you just switch off. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You got the original heater in there and everything. You got a cassette deck. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, AM, FM, and it still works.
Really?
I actually dug up an old Alana Miles tape, put it in, it actually still works.
You know what I like about this truck is this is not an experience you get with new trucks. The new trucks, they're almost like couches, you know, like luxury. It's almost like being in a luxurious apartment with a bunch of leather couches. Whereas this is a man's truck. You know what I mean? It's exactly what it was designed for. It was designed for work, and it's a nice throwback, and it's a completely different feeling you just don't get from those new trucks.
No. This one here, she rides rough, but like I said, it was back then they were designed to work. Back then when you had a truck, you use it on a farm. Yeah. Contractor uses them, but today when you buy a truck, you see them, they buy them from mall calls.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And the price tags of the new truck's just ridiculous. Paying $100,000 for a truck is just criminal, in my opinion. You can't. And the thing is, you can't even get a base truck anymore. Like those trucks, those days are gone. Everything's got so many. Well,
this one here, I talked to a friend of mine who works at a GM dealer, and like he told me when this truck was built, it was considered luxury back in the day. Okay. Because it's got the full gauge package. Right. Everything works except for the clock. Clock doesn't work, but everything else still works on this. Yeah. It's got the four-wheel drive, four-wheel drive high and low. Okay. So is this full-time? Full-time. Full-time four-wheel drive. Interesting. Yeah. Nice. And it's hard on gas. I'm not gonna lie.
I can imagine.
I have to get my company to sponsor me to drive to work.
That's pretty cool. But that's awesome. The shifter's right on the floor. There's nothing electronic. There's nothing to break down. Everything's so simple.
No, actually, my daughter and her friend rode in here one day, and her friend asked where to plug in her cell phone because she wanted to listen to music, and she thought the cassette deck is where you put the phone. And said, no, that's a cassette deck, and she had to Google it. Because younger generation, right? They don't know what a cassette deck was.
That's an experience, eh?
Yeah, and I said, no, you can't do that. You can't. No Bluetooth, nothing in this truck.
What was her reaction like driving in such an old vehicle?
She said it rode rough. It was. She said it basically was like ancient. It wasn't luxury.
No, I guess some of the younger generation obviously won't appreciate what goes into it, and it's probably more scary to them than anything else. You don't have the biggest thing with cars these days. It's actually the soundproofing. The soundproofing is really what gives you the experience. Like now, you can't even hear someone doing a burnout outside. It's so quiet.
No, yeah,
whereas
very
here
quiet.
You can hear a pin drop because there's no insulation, but yet it's still surprisingly quiet, which is what threw me off.
Because at my work, where I work, I drive a brand new GMC truck, and it's big dashboard, everything it's all high tech. And one time the check engine light came on, and the truck stopped. Yeah. This one here, if something goes wrong, I can hear it. I'll know.
Yeah. So what is it like when you daily drive? Because you daily drive this. This is your daily driver, right?
Sometimes, yeah. Like I said, it's hard on gas, but I do drive it a few times a week. Mainly, it's a weekend cruiser. Okay. The wife drives it more than I do. Okay. Yeah, she runs around more than I do. That's why a lot of people will see her and compliment her.
So what's it like switching from a new GMC to this, which is from 1978? What's that feeling like?
I honestly like driving the older stuff better because I know it's if something's wrong, I'm going to know. Yeah. I remember when I take this truck to get serviced, my mechanic, he was only 25 years old, but he tried to hook up the computer to it to run the diagnostic. I said, no, you can't do that.
That's hilarious.
And he was completely surprised that he didn't know anything about the truck. He knew how to change oil. That was about it.
It's funny because with a carbureted engine, you don't have all the wires and everything. It's such a simple system versus fuel injection, and then also there's just really not much to this vehicle. It's so simple, but yeah, someone will look at it and they won't really know what to do just because it's such a different experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is a really nice ride, man. I'm really enjoying it. It's so relaxing. It's just the seats too. This bench seat. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's the original bench seat.
Yeah.
Still original.
I feel like I'm on a couch. I love it. It's awesome. I just feel like I need a drink.
Oh yeah. Well, I got a cup holder right here.
Yeah. I get in trouble if I did that. That's hilarious. Yeah. Oh, this is really cool, man. I like the mirrors too. You got a really nice vision. Classic
mirrors. The mirror. Actually, we had the original mirrors on the truck with the ones with the arms.
Yeah.
I put the ones like in the TV show.
Yeah. So I noticed when you're driving with 2 feet, essentially. So
I'm used to driving standard. All my life, I honestly didn't know how to drive automatic until I was 35 years old.
That's funny. I totally get that too, because I learned how to drive on a standard, and when I go in automatics, I'm just really not sure what to do.
Yeah, no, I mean it's all my life. I used to driving an 18-speed transmission.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. With the recession of 2008, I got out of it when I did because fuel was 80 cents a liter.
Wow.
Now fuel's very expensive.
Yeah, we're talking double that.
Yeah, double that. So, but when I got into the trucking industry, trucking business with my parents, it was 57 cents a liter.
Wow, unbelievable.
Yeah.
At times certainly changed. So now we're driving down a pretty popular road here in Ottawa, and you must get some looks driving this. What are the experiences like driving this kind of vehicle that's this old?
A lot of people will say, "Hey, beautiful truck." A lot of people remember. I remember one gentleman. He flagged me down. He wanted a picture of the truck because he remembered the TV show.
Really?
Yeah, he remember. He asked where Heather Thomas was.
So you're actually getting stopped on the street because this is a replica truck and it's being picked up on. That's pretty cool, man.
Yep.
Wow. No, this is one of those cars that you just get in, and when you're having a bad day, you just go for a cruise and you'll just be good after that.
Well, I find this truck very relaxing when I take it out.
Absolutely.
I go out and I just empty my mind and just enjoy the ride.
Yeah. Well, Clyde, I gotta say, this is really cool. It's nice to drive this truck and get this experience, and what you've done is you're preserving history and putting your own personal touch on it, and I think that's the best thing to do.
Yes.
And anybody on the show deserves a hat, and you absolutely deserve your own hat for being on the show here.
Oh, thank you.
Your own Between the Wheels hat.
Thank you.
And thank you for, keeping history alive, but also, doing something that no one's really done. It's pretty interesting.
Yes. Thank you very much. And
thanks for having our show. We got lots of other trucks coming up, lots of other episodes, so keep watching. We've got lots on the go.
Next time on Between the Wheels.
I guess I was 17 years old when I bought that car, and I fell in love with it right away. Just the looks. I drove it myself for 20 years.
You missed that car a lot,
I freaking love that car. I should have never sold that.
So this is your old car.
Wow, look at the freaking shape of it.
They made 165 of these total in North America.
Oh my God, I don't know what to say.